this is the best thing that ever happened in my life, being a father. All my family, even my parents, they were really concerned about me. I was born in the 8th month. Actually, I was born dead when I was born.
Wow.
I was able to walk and talk 5th year only. So I used to do sculpting and painting also.
Yeah.
I was a tattoo artist also.
How nice.
From the first time I
Held a
learned to hold a pen
Yeah.
or pencil,
Yeah.
I started sketching.
Wow.
When I reached class 8, I was not allowed to enter drawing competition in
Because you were
school
so good.
because I always get first. I was addicted to pornography, smoking. I used to chew a lot of tobacco and smoking 4 packets a day.
40 to 50.
Yeah. I was a chain smoker. I started smoking from my class 8. So we used to go to school. We used to carry extra t-shirt. So we would change. We would went and watch pornography.
How? Where was this? Like where?
It was a Eros line.
And you'd pay for it.
Yeah.
It was a whole business.
Yeah.
Wait, please explain this to me a little bit. Wait, what's happening? Like,
I mean,
who's this? Who's running this
you know
business?
this. So all the upstairs, they would run a TV
TV room.
room. They have a
Oh my gosh.
pornography, the show.
And who are running these? Like
Nagas
itself.
Yeah. Best decision in my life that I have taken is accepting Christ. 2015, I encountered Christ when I was sleeping.
After marriage.
Yeah, after
Oh
marriage.
wow. Okay.
When Eliza, my eldest daughter, she was 6 months old.
Mm.
So that night I had a dream. After that night, something really changed. I got up and I was crying. I didn't know for what reason I was crying, but I was just crying the whole night. And I would stop talking with my parents, my wife, and I would just curl up myself and in
What
my
was the
mind-
dream? Do you remember the dream?
Yeah, there's always a lady, so she would tell me certain
Yeah.
things. I got sick, even the medication is not working on me. Somebody suggested me to give my name to a Muslim guy. Of course, it's black magic.
Yeah.
And I don't encourage anyone to do that. I kept my name. That guy, it seems he sat for 2 nights for me.
Okay.
Nothing was shown. And he called up my dad and he said, "This is the first time in my career that I have not seen." Yeah. So, I mean, they're doing business of that, nah. My mom came to the room and told me, like, why don't you go to a prayer home? Without any second thought.
Yeah.
Why I am saying without any second thought? I was not a church goer.
Okay.
And I really hated these religious people going to church. So instant, I told my mom, I'll go.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I'll go. We all know Solomon. He was very intelligent guy, but he still prayed for the wisdom of God. So for me also, I know I'm talented, but I always pray to God every day, even now. Lord, my talent is limited, but I want your creativity to be upon me.
Exactly.
And his creativity is unlimited. And that's how I'm surviving till now in this field.
That 6 months you said you lost 20 something kgs. Like what was it? Practically what were you doing?
I used to cycle 40 to 50 kilometers in the morning, and in the evening I would run 5 to 10 kilometers and work out for 1 hour.
Every day.
Every day
Oh man.
for 5 months.
A 1, 2, a 1, 2, 3, 4.
Father, let there be true conviction in us as we're speaking things, that we're able to speak your truth. If there's anything within us that is not from you, Father, we cancel that, Father, in Jesus' name. We pray that you speak through us to people who need to hear from you, Father. Father, we pray that this reaches the right person, be it 1, be it 10 or 100, Father, that it reaches the right people, Father God. Thank you. Thank you once again, Father. We pray for this podcast to go smooth. Let this conversation flow naturally. Let there be just shalom as we're doing this. In Jesus' mighty name. Amen. All right. So which one is Odi's camera? If you have to speak to the camera, that'll be you. No, Odi. But
That
more or
one.
less, it's going to be here only.
Yeah. Chalo, fine.
You comfortable, Odi?
Yeah.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Munguli podcast. Today, we have someone who is a pioneer, someone I really, really look up to. Like I said, a pioneer in his own field. And I'll leave the introduction for him. Imcha Jamir.
Yeah. Thank you, Munguli, for having me and the team.
Yeah.
I'm so excited to be here.
How are you?
I'm great.
Yeah?
I'm great. Thank you.
Where did you come from right now?
From home.
Yeah?
Yeah.
It's a Sunday afternoon. How was your Sunday? How does your Sunday look like?
I mean, went for worship
Yeah.
to the Lighthouse Church.
Yeah.
And right after that, I'm here.
All right. Awesome. For those of you who don't know you, can you share a little bit about who you are, what you do?
Hello, I am Imcha Jamir and I'm a father of 3. happily married, and then I'm a photographer. Yeah.
Awesome. I love how you started with that you're a father first. That's so good. How long have you been a father?
It's been this year, I mean this month,
Yeah.
on 12,
Yeah.
I'll be, my marriage will be 12 years,
Oh wow.
and I'm a father for 10.
Oh wow. How's that? How's that been?
Never, this is the best thing that
Wow.
ever happened in my life,
Mm.
being a father.
So good. And so that means you got married at what age roughly?
29.
Also pretty like
Yeah.
average Naga marriage age, I guess.
Yeah.
Nice. And how did just since we're already in this topic, how did you meet your wife?
It's a long story,
Sure, we have time.
and not something I really want to share also,
Oh,
but
okay.
I mean, not like I've
Yeah.
not shared before, but
Yeah.
I met her through Facebook.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then we known each other for maybe 2.5 years,
Okay. Okay.
and I met her twice,
Mm.
and on the third, I proposed her.
Wow. That's fast.
Yeah,
What made it that what made you so sure that she's the one?
I mean, see, our
Dynamic.
dating life,
Yeah, yeah.
it was very unique from other.
Okay.
Personally, I met her twice.
Uh-huh.
One was I went to Bangalore to meet her.
Oh, she was in Bangalore.
Yeah.
Okay.
The second was I picked her from the bus station
Uh-huh.
because she stays, airport, and
Yeah.
I drop her to the bus station
Yeah.
since she stays in Mokokchung.
Ah, okay. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So that was our
Second.
second.
Yeah.
But one thing I really like about her from the first day was she was very quiet and very calm person.
Wow. Wow.
And I'm a very, short temper guy. And that is what I'm struggling till now.
Till now.
Yeah. I mean, I feel I have improved a
course.
little,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
but still struggling. And that's what a Christian life is.
You're
No.
growing.
Yeah.
You're learning. Yeah, yeah.
So when I came to know her,
Mm.
I knew she would be a good wife,
Mm. Mm.
and she would really take care of me.
Yeah.
So that is the one particular personality
Yeah.
that I saw her,
Yeah, yeah.
and I made up my mind that
She's the one.
She's the one.
Wow. That's really good. We'll get more into that.
Yeah.
But how long have you been doing photography?
I started in the year 2026. Sorry, not
It's like next year.
2006.
The IM was here yesterday. He
Oh,
kept saying that.
oh,
Every
yeah.
time he wanted to say 2003, he was like 2023. And I was like, when did you start like really taking worship serious? He's like 2025. That's like last month.
He meant to say
Yeah, 2005. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So I started 2006.
Yeah. Oh wow. So that's like almost 20 years now.
Yeah, 19.
Yeah.
19.
What got you into photography?
Actually, I'm my background is, I'm from a multimedia background.
Yeah.
So I used to do sculpting and painting also.
Yeah.
So that time we used to have camera
Mm.
just to document our work.
Ah, okay.
So slowly as I did that, one of my close friend, my high school mate,
Uh-huh.
she got married,
Okay.
and it was the first wedding
Yeah.
I covered.
Yeah.
So from that onward, it became as a profession. Actually, I used to make tattoo also.
Yeah.
I was a tattoo artist also.
How nice.
Yeah.
So you were always. So I think we have a lot of things in similar. I'm also like an artist. Like first, I used to draw and all those things.
Yeah.
Were you always like? Did you always grow up drawing like when you were a kid?
Yeah, from the first time I
Held the pen.
learned to hold a pen
Yeah.
or pencil,
Yeah.
that was the day I started sketching.
Wow.
And from my very young age, I used to get first
Competitions.
competition.
Yeah.
So I remember when I reached class 8, I was not allowed to enter drawing competition in
Because
school.
you're so good.
Because I always get first.
Yeah.
So, and once we went to a inter-school competition
Yeah.
where all the
Yeah.
school comes. So I was not prepared also,
Yeah.
and it was I was in high school, and there were students from higher secondary.
Yeah.
So we did competition, and our principal said, "Let's go back." And I was so sure that I'm gonna win.
Yeah.
So I told, "No, I'm gonna stay
Yeah.
until the result is out."
Yeah.
So we stayed with full confidence, and it was SC competition. There were a lot of competition, but
yeah.
from our school, I didn't got first, but
Yeah.
I got second.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I came back joyfully.
Mm.
But like said, in our time, it was least, focus.
Yeah. Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So my desire was to become an artist
Yeah.
from a very childhood.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's how.
Yeah.
it all
So,
went.
what did you do after your school? Like, you directly went to do the multimedia thing,
No,
or
actually, I was not a good student,
okay, okay,
to be
Yeah.
very honest.
good
It's not-
academics? You're not.
Yeah, yeah,
yeah.
It's not that I was not good in studies.
Okay,
It's just that I was not able to concentrate
okay,
on my studies.
okay.
First thing, I was so into art
Oh, yeah.
that whenever I study also, I always art.
Go back to draw.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So even if I study science,
Yeah.
I always study with drawing.
Wow.
So like if a plant grows, so
You
I'll
draw
make
it
a
out.
plan.
Yeah.
I'll make it grow. So whenever I study that way, I could memorize that
You
drawing.
would understand it. Yeah.
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 And SS science I used to pass just because of diagram.
Yeah.
You know SS.
Yeah,
India map carries Denmark.
So you got all 10.
Yeah. So I was very good in
Yeah.
drawing. So those are the things that
Yeah.
at least till class 10
Yeah.
I went up
Yeah.
because of that.
Yeah. Yeah.
And when I was studying my higher secondary, I was not giving much into studying.
Okay.
So I was somehow, my track was off.
Yeah.
But one of my friend dad, he suggested me to join fine arts
Yeah.
college.
Yeah.
So I was so excited, and
This is at the age of which class was this roughly?
11.
Okay. Okay.
It was in the 11th standard.
And you took arts?
No, actually, that also, I mean, it's all God's plan.
Yeah.
I went to Guwahati
Okay.
to join fine arts college,
Okay.
and we were having a coaching
Okay.
for the entrance.
Okay.
So when we are having a coaching, all the people who are gonna give the entrance, we were having together. So among most of us, I was one of the best when it comes to, especially my strength was sketching.
Yeah.
So I could really sketch a life portrait.
Yeah.
So I was considered to be the best among
Yeah.
all the people,
Yeah.
even when it comes to sculpting.
Yeah.
But when the entrance, they didn't select me, and I was so for the
Frustrated.
first time in my life,
Yeah.
when I failed. I have failed in my high school,
Yeah.
but I've never give a
Yeah.
importance.
Didn't care.
I didn't care.
Yeah.
But that
But
failure,
this is what you wanted, and you thought you were good at it. Yeah.
that failure, it really broke me, and I was crying for days. And my sister was in Pune that time, so she just rang me and she asked me to come over there so that I can take up multimedia.
Wow.
So I have to leave Guwahati and I went to Pune.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, to
And
do
that's where
my
you did your-
multimedia. Yeah.
How nice. Yeah. Well, so how did your? I always talk about this when people are on here, especially. I mean, so far we have had people who are in the creative field itself. How did your parents? How many of you? Your siblings?
We are three of us.
Three of you.
My elder sister and my younger sister.
And where did you grow up? Mokcho?
No, Dimapur.
Dimapur?
Yeah.
Okay. Born and brought up here.
Born and brought up.
Okay. And how did your parents take? And are you the oldest, middle
I'm the
child?
middle.
Middle child. Okay.
Yeah.
How do your parents take to the art decision and all those things? Were they ever always?
I mean, my parents, I won't say they were not supportive,
okay.
because
You were good at it.
Yeah.
Also. Yeah.
First thing, I was born. I was born in the 8th month. Actually,
Okay.
I was born dead
Yeah,
when I
yeah.
was born.
Oh my gosh.
So it took a really struggle for them to raise me up.
Wow.
I was able to walk and talk on my age for 5th year only.
Oh, okay.
So all my family, even my parents, they were really concerned about me. And then I got a lot of attention actually, not just from my parents, but even my aunties. So as I grew up, they were always supportive in the things that I did,
Yeah.
but also they were also very concerned.
Yeah.
So when I took up that step, they were also very supportive
Yeah.
on that. Yeah.
Oh, wow. So never really pushed back. They never really like kind of forced you to be
Yeah.
something, or that's such a privilege, especially in that time.
Yeah,
I guess,
it was.
right.
It was.
When you went to this multimedia college, which year was this roughly?
2000. I think it was 2002 or 3.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
Okay. And then then when you went there, you still wanted to do fine arts.
Yes, I
Right.
wanted to.
That's something you wanted to
Yeah.
do. What was it like? So I want to get an idea of, because even me, right? Like growing up, that was the first thing I wanted, because I was also good at it. I was also winning everything, like same, very similar, honestly. And I would go nationals and like win stuff and all of those things. And I used to do tattoo making as well.
Yeah.
There were so in inter-school competitions, all India ones,
Yeah.
there would be these competitions, art fest, and then there would be like, okay, graffiti, there would be tattoo making, all of these different things,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And I used to always be sent for tattoo making. I used to win tattoo making competitions, all those things.
Wow. That's so good.
So very similar in that sense. But for me as well, growing up, I think it was class 8 or something when I realized there's a career in design. But before that as well, like, because it's so alien. Everyone's
Yeah.
doctor, engineer, all of these things, right?
True.
So for me as well, I struggle with, okay, this is like early, 6, 7. And I think for you, it's going to be much more because you had no idea. Like, we had the internet and all those things, right? For me as well, it was like, okay, I want to do art, but what is there? Like, what do I do? What is, like, do I just draw for the rest of my life? How does this work? Like, so did you have any reference? Did you have people you looked up to? Were there any inspiration or poster childs that you had? Like, I can do this? Or what got you to believe that you could make a career out of this?
I would say our time were different.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
So in our time, it was we never knew internet,
exactly. Yeah.
and all we eager to wait to expose to the world was Sunday, Shaktiman and Chandrakanta. That was the only time when we find like, okay,
There's something.
there's something. Other than that, internet was not reachable. I mean,
of
it
course,
was not there.
not there at all. Yeah.
So I won't say I really didn't have any, someone to inspire me.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
my dad was actually my dad,
Okay.
because my dad he used to do architect also,
Oh.
and he is a very good carpenter. So from my very young age, he used to show me how to cut, how to
So.
sew.
Yeah.
So all those small things, which really inspired me actually.
Wow.
And I also do carpentry.
So good.
Yeah. So one person who have really pushed me
Yeah.
in this creative field.
Yeah.
I mean, my dad was very few in word
Yeah,
when he
yeah.
was
Yeah.
very young. So he encouraged me through his
Actions.
lifestyle.
Yeah. The way he led his life.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. So when you did the wedding, you said the wedding that you
Yeah.
did was it just like you did, like, in that moment? How much did you enjoy photography, or like when was it that you realized, okay, I want to shift to photography? Or was it more of
I
like
don't
you-
have that particular time. Like I don't remember it.
Yeah.
But we have to survive. That's what
Exactly.
You
Yeah,
know.
yeah.
And I used to do cover weddings for 3,000.
What's cover weddings for people?
to?
Oh, you
I
used to
mean-
just go to weddings and
I mean to cover weddings.
oh,
no?
yeah, got it.
Photography.
Yeah.
I used to take 3,000, and that also sometimes people find it
expensive.
too much.
Yeah.
So I had a studio also.
And this was in here.
2,000. Yeah.
Here in Dimapur.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we were 3 of us.
Yeah.
My cousin and my brother-in-law, my co-brother-in-law.
Yeah.
So they used to look after sound, and I used to look after photo and video.
Mm.
So we run it for 1.5 year,
Okay.
and after that I went back to Delhi to take some animation course.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're still dabbling. You're still learning a bit
Yeah,
more.
yeah,
and
that's what.
so you're not sure yet what you
Not
want to.
sure.
Yeah. And what age is this?
Say if 25.
Oh, I'm 25 now.
Yeah. Already.
Yeah. So it's like you're still trying out things.
Yeah,
You're
yeah.
figuring things out and all those
That's
things.
what.
All right. So you said you're making 3,000, 4,000 per wedding that time. These are family and friends, and just people. Or how did you get your clients? Then
Someone I know.
word of mouth, basically.
Yeah.
Just word of mouth.
Yeah.
All right. And so animation. How long did that last?
It was just. It lasts only
The course.
the course I took.
Yeah.
Yeah. Apart from that, I could not do much.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
that's so good because I'm a true believer of everything you do, everything you learn adds up to the person that you
Yeah,
are.
yeah.
I'm pretty sure those things added to your repertoire of
True.
like especially fine art, right? Like composition, and I think we talked the first time we met. We talked half an hour or something in Uncle Tali's piece. I remember,
Yes,
and
yes.
we talked a lot about graphic design and about how me knowing graphic design and composition and the principles of design, like hierarchy, composition, all of these things really allowed me to even transition to video stuff.
Yeah,
Because it just it was just in the back of our mind. It became second nature, right? So I'm pretty sure everything you learned that you are not doing now per se has added to how good you are in that one thing that
Yes.
you do, right?
Yeah.
Can you share a little bit about that, like just learning things?
I mean, everybody have their own story,
Yeah.
but for me, my life was a little bit like Galo.
Okay.
Galo.
Galo.
Yeah.
I was like, who's Galo? I was like, oh, Galo.
So even though I was
Nice illustration.
doing the things I love,
Yeah.
I was still off because I was into addiction,
Okay.
few addictions,
Yeah.
which have also tracked me to side track from what I love. And when I took that animation course, I was the third top among
Okay. Yeah.
the
Ranked.
Yeah. So we were given an offer to go to New Zealand as a scholarship.
Oh wow. Okay.
But I had a relationship at the time. So I didn't took the offer and I came back home.
Okay.
So after I came back home, I went here and there. But only after I encountered Christ, everything came to its track.
Wow.
Yeah.
And if you don't mind sharing, I would love to. And it's up to you to share or not. People have been really vulnerable on here. Odi Imcha, he also shared. Like, can you share a little bit about that? You said addiction. What is this? What is this you were struggling with?
I was addicted to pornography,
Yeah.
smoking,
Yeah.
and tobacco.
Yeah.
I used to chew a lot of tobacco and smoking 4 packets a day.
How
That
many,
was
how many are there in one packet?
20?
So like
10, sorry. It was 10, but the bigger packet, it's 20.
so you're smoking like 40 to 50.
Yeah. I was a chain smoker,
Oh
actually.
my gosh.
And I started smoking at from my class 8. So I smoked actually for a very long year. There was a particular incident where, I slept smoking and the next day the pillow
You
was...
slept smoking.
Yeah.
Bro, what? That's crazy.
My pillow and mattress was burned, but I was nothing happened to me. And I realized only when I got up. And then one incident was I threw, cigarette and my curtain got burned. So there were a lot of incidents, even keyboard. I was
Smoking and working,
smoking
yeah.
and I slept off and the keyboard was burned. So
So when you were smoking so much, and when did you okay, let's break that down if that's okay. Because I really want to have these conversations
Yeah.
because a lot of people don't talk about it, right? And thank you for sharing. How did you get into it?
I mean,
Friends?
I won't blame friends also
Okay.
because it was my choice. So I mean, even friends also, it was all at the same page.
Yeah.
So we all tried.
Okay. Yeah.
So everything start this way. Like first when Tulsi came,
Tulsi being the.
Gutka,
Okay. Yeah.
it was Tulsi that
Okay.
time.
Okay.
It was very famous.
Okay.
And I was in class 7. So me and my, we had a mate at
Okay,
home.
yeah.
He was elder
Yeah.
one.
Yeah.
So he used to drop me on bicycle
To school.
tuition.
Oh, tuition. Okay.
So one day we came and I had some few tiffin money which I've saved. So we bought that Tulsi. And we had
Tulsi
it.
is like tobacco.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah,
Tobacco, it's Gutka.
Yeah.
So we had, and I was so, I got headache.
Because it's
And
so
I-
strong and
yeah,
potent.
yeah. And it was my first
And
time.
you were class 8,
7.
7.
Yeah.
It's like 13 years.
Yeah,
12, 13. Yeah.
13, 14.
Yeah,
I
okay.
was a little old because
Okay, got
I
it.
did my schooling very late.
Got it.
So I went back home. I vomited that day
Yeah.
a lot. And my mom and dad were praying, chasing out bed.
I don't want to laugh, but okay. That's so innocent. That's so innocent of your
Yeah, I
parents.
know.
Yeah.
I mean, that's how they,
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
They,
Yeah.
so they started praying,
Yeah.
chasing out
Yeah.
bad,
Wow. Yeah.
spirit.
Yeah.
And inside me, I was
You
laughing
knew-
also. I knew like. So from that time, I started to love having all those tobacco stuff,
Yeah.
and slowly it led me to smoke.
Mm.
Yeah. So, but one thing that really, I mean, I thought, while smoking, I thought it was okay. And my dad, like I said, a man of very few words.
Yeah.
So my dad, I used to be very scared of him.
Yeah.
So one day I was smoking in the room, and he was working outside, just next to my room.
Yeah.
And then he called me like, Imcha,
Okay.
And I said, how? And one thing, from very childhood, one thing I really don't want to entertain is lying. That is
That's so
till
good.
now I
So good.
don't entertain lying.
Yeah. Okay.
If it hurts people also, if it brings, I try to
The truth is the
speak
truth,
the
yeah.
truth. So my dad asked me, are you smoking? And I said, yes.
Yeah.
And one thing he spoke to me was, what have
I don't.
I not gave you
Yeah.
that you are smoking?
Oh.
And that day, it really, pinched me.
Yeah.
But still, I was smoking.
You're already into it by the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was a chain smoker, so.
By the time
But-
already.
Yeah. So, from that day, I never smoked publicly
Okay.
because I had that shame,
Yeah.
So, one reason why I could quit easily was because of that particular.
You had a reason.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
thought he would, beat me or
Yeah.
uh,
Yeah.
hit me
Yeah,
hard
Yeah.
because, I was smoking.
Yeah.
But he just released
It was
that
gentle.
word.
It was
Yeah.
gentle. Yeah.
It from that day on, it always stayed with me.
Wow.
That word.
Wow. Yeah. How bad did it get and how fast did it get bad? Like in a sense, from the moment you started smoking to becoming a chain smoker, how rapid was it?
It was very fast.
Pretty fast.
Very fast.
And where were you getting the money to do this? And
I mean, like I said, I was favored.
yeah.
By my aunties, my mom.
Ah.
So I had two mom.
Okay.
My real mom and my youngest mother.
Okay,
You
yeah.
know Arong, right? Manan Arong.
Yeah.
His mother.
Okay.
He was like my till now he's like my own
Yeah,
mother. Okay.
Yeah.
So, and my sister, she worked from a very young age.
Okay.
I mean, after her graduation,
Yeah.
she started working. So I had three person who
Would
you know,
just
who-
fund
whom
you.
I can ask.
They were sponsoring
and-
your. Yeah.
So I would just call them and
Yeah.
send me this amount.
Oh,
And they will just send
But
me.
like, just send or like, would you give a reason?
I mean, I was not someone who would give a reason. Like I said, I was very short tempered
yeah.
guy. So even they would not ask me.
Why and all?
Yeah, so even my sister, I would demand her. So I was a very rich kid.
You had good sources.
Good
Yeah.
sources, yeah.
And so this just lasted. And when did pornography start? How did pornography start?
Pornography started from a young age.
Yeah.
That also.
Yeah.
So we used to school. We went to school.
Yeah.
I was studying in Don Bosco school.
Okay.
So we used to go to school. We used to carry extra t-shirt.
T-shirt. Okay.
T-shirt. So we would change and keep the bag at one of the shop, and
Okay.
we'll go to Eros line
Okay. Okay.
with tiffin money.
Oh, everything is just different money. Okay.
So we would went and watch pornography.
How? Where was this? Like where?
It was a Eros line.
Okay.
They had a small TV,
Okay.
show.
And you'd pay for it.
Yeah.
It was a whole business.
Yeah.
Wait, please explain this to me a little bit. Wait, what's happening? Like,
I mean,
who's this? Who's running this
you
business?
Know this, Potola.
No. I know Eros line.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
So all the upstairs they would run a TV
room. or
TV
something.
room. They have a
Oh my gosh.
pornography, show.
And who are running these? Like
Nagas.
Nagas itself.
Yeah. So
Okay.
we would go there and watch. So that's how it started.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Oh wow. That's crazy. Okay. And how like please I'll open this for you also. That's a lot to think about already, yeah. Thinking of the business model. It's crazy. Okay. Right, so and you grew you mentioned Christ, like you got saved.
Yeah.
When and how was this?
I got married in the year 2013.
Yeah.
And after marriage also I was still struggling with all those
Okay.
addiction.
Yeah.
2015 I encountered Christ when I was sleeping.
After marriage.
Yeah, after
Oh
marriage.
wow. Okay.
When
Okay.
Eliza, my eldest daughter, she was 6 months old.
Mm.
So that night I had a dream.
Mm.
And after that night, something really changed. So that night I got up and I was crying. I didn't know for what reason I was crying,
Yeah.
but I was just crying the whole night till morning.
Yeah.
And I would stop talking with my parents, my wife, and I would just curl up myself and preparing for me to die.
Okay.
Like in
What
my
was the
mind-
dream? Do you remember the dream?
Yeah, I dream on my dream. There's always a lady on my dream,
Okay. Okay.
so she would tell me certain things.
Okay.
So she came and told me that there is. She even showed me my internal organ. Okay.
Okay.
So there is a form of cancer in you. So that will kill you if you don't accept Christ. So that is the dream that woke me up.
Yeah.
And I was someone who would never fear of death.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would never entertain that, or I was never a person who would fear for
Yeah.
to die.
Yeah.
But that night I didn't want to die. So I got up and I was looking at my daughter and I love her so much
Yeah. Of course.
because we have testimony of her also, and I would look at her and I would cry and I was just getting ready myself to die.
Yeah.
So I got sick. I was not. It was a week passing by, and even the medication is not working on me. So
This was right after the dream.
yeah. So I took blood tests. Everything was normal. And somebody suggested me to give my name to a Muslim guy. Okay. I mean,
Whoever that guy is, they're asking.
yeah. So I gave my name.
Oh, you
And-
also did it.
Yeah. Because I wanted to get well.
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
So I gave my name, and it seems like he's, I mean, I'm not promoting that guy, but what people say, he's very, straight.
Yeah.
I mean, fortune
Fortune teller
Yeah,
types. Okay.
fortune
okay.
teller.
Yeah,
Of course, it's black magic,
Yeah.
and I don't encourage anyone to do that.
Yeah.
So I gave my name,
Yeah.
and then that guy, it seems he sat for 2 nights for me.
Okay.
And nothing was shown
Okay.
about me to him.
Okay.
Nothing.
Yeah.
And he called up my dad and he said, this is the first time in my career that I have not
Career.
seen. Yeah. So, I mean, they're doing business of that, nah.
Yeah.
So I want to meet that guy. He
Yeah,
said,
yeah.
and he is willing to come down from
Where is he?
Kohima
Oh, Kohima. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
to Timapur. So that night, before we took the decision, my mom came to the room and told me like, why don't you go to a prayer home?
Mm.
And I was, without any second thought,
Yeah.
why I am saying without any second thought, I was not a church goer.
Okay.
And I really hated these religious people going to church, you know, because we used to play cricket, Lingrijan church ground. And people going to church, we would want to, you know, stone them.
Why?
Because when they are having church, we are unable to
Play cricket.
We have to pause until they finish
Yeah,
their.
yeah.
So instant, I told my mom, I'll go.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I'll go. And then when I went there, the prayer warrior, he prayed and he told me, the Lord is giving you 7 days to fast and then to ask for life.
Wow.
So immediately I took my bedding and I came.
Prayer home. Yeah, yeah.
Prayer home.
Where is this? Which one is this?
It was Mount Pusti,
Okay.
Universal Prayer Home.
Okay. Okay.
So as I was, you know, spending my time, I used to have a lot of dreams.
Yeah. Yeah.
And my wife used to encourage me to go to Sinai ministry.
Okay. Wow.
But since she was there from the beginning,
Yeah. Yeah.
I never entertained those things. But I prayed to God, like, God, if you want me to, you know, do work for you,
Yeah.
please show me in my dream.
Wow.
So in my dream, I was going to a church, worship place, and there were a lot of army that is blocking me. But I still somehow would make it to the church, and the door opened, and a guy just received me, and I gave him a bowl of blood,
Wow.
a bowl of blood, which is my blood, okay?
Yeah. Yeah.
And he took that bowl,
Yeah.
and then he said, "We will cleanse it." And then he just took, and I asked that guy, where's the pastor?
Yeah.
And they said, they're in the room. You can meet later.
Yeah.
And it was Sinai ministry.
Wow.
And second time, I wanted to confirm again. I prayed to God, show me again. And again, the next day also, I was,
So this is during your fasting.
during
Okay.
my fasting.
Okay, yeah,
I was going to, again, Sinai ministry.
Yeah. Yeah.
So twice, the Lord showed me Sinai ministry.
Yeah.
And when I went to Sinai ministry, I saw that person who opened the door and took the
Same
blood.
guy.
Same guy. And that is someone whom I have never met. And it was Young Imcha. Wow. Yeah, that's how. And when I finished my 7th day,
And he was like, sorry, like he was. You could see his face, and he was clearly him.
yeah,
And you've never met him.
Never met him.
You met him after the dream, and he was the same
Yeah,
person.
Same person.
Wow, that's crazy.
And that's why that really, you know, till now,
Yeah.
it's really holding me there,
Yeah.
I would say.
Yeah,
And
please,
then
please continue. Yeah. Sure.
after 7th day, I came out from the fasting. I was so lightened up.
And how's your health?
It was fine. It was like
Wow.
I was getting better.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
could like, and then I got a call from one of my friend's friend, and she asked me to cover wedding anniversary at Mokokchung,
Yeah.
and I said okay, and she mentioned a name, and I didn't know who he was, so I went up to Mokokchung that week, and I went to meet that it's 25th wedding anniversary.
Okay.
So I went there. The moment I step in,
Yeah.
the old guy, the person who is, you know, celebrating his
Yeah. Anniversary.
anniversary, he just looked at me and he said, "Son of God,
Wow.
you will never die out of cancer." And it was Lanu Longcha, Reverend Lanu Longcha.
Wow.
And I covered his 25th wedding anniversary, and he started to mentor me. And he became my spiritual father.
Yeah.
And that time I never knew who he was actually, and where all of Nagaland knows who Lanu Longchar
Yeah,
is.
because you're playing cricket.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that is how.
What happened? Like, did you meet the Muslim guy though?
No, no.
Did he come to meet you
No, no.
eventually? Okay, so just nothing.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
just you went okay.
Cancel.
Yeah. Okay.
Appointment was cancelled.
So, on that note, well, we stick to this. You have been. Does God continue to speak to you in dreams often?
Yeah, yeah.
You're someone.
I
I,
mean,
I can tell the way you're telling me all
Yes,
these things.
yes.
Yeah.
Actually, I dream a lot.
Yeah.
Even my dream is not like, there are dreams
Yeah.
like Solomon dream, and he asked wisdom to interpret.
Yeah.
My dreams are not to interpret; it's direct.
Direct. Yeah. Clear. It's
Yeah.
clear. Yeah.
So I dreamed twice my dad getting accident.
Yeah.
Even that 2 occasion he got accident. So I used to tell my dream
Yeah.
quick, so
Yeah.
that not to be scared, but so that we can
You're
pray.
doing. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
So one night I dreamt that my dad got accident, and I got up. That time I used to get up around 11, 12.
Yeah. Was this before Jesus?
Yeah. Actually,
Okay.
before Christ,
Yeah.
before I got married also. So
Okay.
I told my mom, dad got accident on my dream, and after a few minutes, mom got a call and dad hit by a truck, way to Kohima.
Oh my.
So we went and brought the car.
Yeah.
Car was unrecognizable,
Oh my
but
gosh.
he was okay.
Wow.
Second time also I dreamt, and
This is
it
also
happened.
before.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So those things, it happens.
Yeah.
And warning also I
Yeah.
get sometime.
Yeah.
And when it comes to fitness also,
Yeah.
actually.
We'll get to that topic also,
Yeah,
but go
yeah.
ahead. Yeah.
So those are the few things. So
But when you say fitness, what is that? What is that? Like when it comes to fitness, you get dreams or what?
no, in the year 2020,
Yeah.
before Corona really hit,
Yeah.
I got a dream, and that same lady, she came and she told me, you need to lose weight. If you don't lose weight, you'll die. And the next day I got up, the inspiration was different level. I started to run, and then
Because the last time that happened,
yeah, it was, and I was 95 kilo.
yeah, you showed me photos of you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so I was 95 kilo. My target was 68.
Yeah.
So I dropped 27 kilo in just 5 months.
It's crazy.
Yeah, and slowly people started to die out of Corona.
Yeah.
And I'm sure it was not Corona. I don't believe in Corona,
Okay.
but it was.
Yeah.
People. Most of the people who died was out of fear, and people who are obese.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure like some sickness was there
Yeah.
already,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
the death. I
Yeah.
mean.
Yeah.
So maybe the Lord was, trying to save me from that
Yeah.
wave.
Yeah. We'll get to the fitness thing, but this lady you mentioned, you were getting dreams of her even before your encounter with Christ.
Yes, of
It's
course. Yeah.
pretty frequent, or what?
Actually, it's like this. When I was class 5, one night after tuition, I was coming home. And then my grandparents' cemetery was just outside our house,
Okay.
our old house.
Okay.
So I look at that cemetery and I saw someone coming.
Okay.
So I ran. It was night.
Yeah.
So I ran, and that night, somebody was tapping on my back,
Huh?
on my back,
Okay.
backpack.
Oh yeah.
So I ran like crazy, okay? that
Outside,
night.
like near the cemetery?
outside.
Okay.
It was night,
Yeah.
around 6, 7,
Yeah.
because the tuition teacher was staying in our rent.
Yeah. Okay.
So I ran and I came back, and the moment I reached home, I was not feeling well.
Okay.
And I told my mom, I'm not gonna have dinner, so I'm gonna just sleep.
Yeah.
And I just slept, and and in my dream there were a lot of people carrying me. They were wearing black cloth and carrying me. And I used to get up, pray, sleep, get up, pray, sleep. And my parents found me on the door, me lying on the door. So they brought me, and they were taking care of me. I was unconscious. There was one lady, we don't know her, And even my parents, they don't know her. She came to my place. And she said, last night in my dream, Lord showed me your place to pray over you. So I just came. And she prayed and she just saw a banana tree being pulled up. And that guy who pulled it out, he said, the time is not yet. And he planted it back. It was my life, you know.
Wow.
And from that day till class 11, I couldn't sit alone.
Yeah.
If I stay alone,
at
somebody
that.
would come and talk with me. Yeah.
Okay.
So somebody spirit,
Yeah.
so they will come and talk with me.
Like, what is this talk like?
Like I don't understand much, but the words were so fast,
Okay.
and I would get dizzy
Uh,
when they come and disturb me, you know.
wow.
So that happened for a very long year, till my
Yeah.
class 11.
For like 6 years then. that
Yeah,
is.
yeah.
What stopped it?
Uh,
Or
I-
it just stopped?
It just stopped, okay.
Okay.
1 year, it just stopped and it never came back. But
Yeah.
one day, as I was ironing, one of my mom's friend,
Yeah.
she has a eye of, you know, seeing things.
Seeing, yeah.
So she just called me and let's pray. And then she prayed and she never have any idea about the
This
things
whole
I
thing.
went.
Yeah, yeah.
So she prayed and she said, were you disturbed with some spirit?
Wow.
And I said, yes. He's old.
He's
couldn't-
old?
Yeah. That spirit have become old that he's unable to, you know,
Yeah, yeah. Reach you.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
So he will send someone again. So you need to take, accept Christ before that happen.
Oh, wow.
So those things, from my very childhood, those guidance were there actually.
Yeah,
But
and
I was unable to recognize it.
so when you were saved, even after, do you still get dreams? Do you still
Yeah,
get visions? What
Actually,
are-
one of the most, you know, goosebump dream
Yeah.
in my life was when I got saved and when I covered Reverend Lanu Longjar's
Anniversary? Yeah, yeah.
I went for a prayer to him.
Okay.
And he said, I was, you know, very,
Restless.
I had a very restless heart.
Yeah.
I wanted to know what's my calling.
Yeah, yeah.
Because at that time,
And
I
you
wa-
actually were. You were trying all
Yeah,
these different
yeah.
things. Yeah, yeah.
and I wanted to give up photography that time.
Okay.
I just want to serve God.
Yeah.
So Reverend Lanu Longjar told me like this, God will show you in your dream tonight. You just pray and sleep. So I went, it was in my in-laws place, Mungukchong. I slept, and in my dream, I was in a hell, like a mountain valley full of fire. And I was just laying down, and there were a lot of spirit coming down to get me. And I look up to heaven, and I cried out, Jesus, save me. The heaven just broke out, and an angel came down from the heaven, like, and then the wings just opened. It's giving me goosebumps right now. So the wings just stretch out,
Yeah.
and then the angel just look at me at the back,
Yeah.
from the back, and all the devil, it disappeared. There was only one who was still standing, one spirit.
Yeah.
And then I woke up, and I was like, he was a very, you know,
Big,
tall,
yeah,
big guy
Yeah. Yeah.
with short hair.
Yeah.
So I googled short hair angel. So many people who have seen angel, it was Michael.
Michael.
Yeah. Angel
Really
with short
goosebumps
hair.
right now, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I immediately told my friend, my friend Tushi, you know Tushi Longja, right?
Yeah, yeah.
I called him up. Tushi, I had a dream of that. Please make a graphic for that. And he made a graphic and he shared, sent me, and I uploaded on Facebook with my testimony. And a lot of people, not just from India, from abroad, called me and prayed over me. And that was the, you know, one of the
You really owe Facebook a lot.
yeah.
Your
but
wife-
it's been like
Yeah.
more than
Yeah.
5 years. No,
Yeah.
I'm out of it. Yeah, so
That's crazy.
yeah,
Yeah.
that was one dream.
Oh man, my zip was open. Yeah. I just hope editing will up. I just realized
Put one smiley.
censored. So anyways, well that's good. That lady again. I'm so curious. I'm getting somewhere with this because I'm also gonna share something that I've come across. That lady, has she also come to you even after Jesus, after Christ? How long has
Yeah,
it been
yeah.
when you have it? Like
In my
when was the
dream.
last time? Also, yeah.
No, actually, I dream a lot.
Okay.
And whenever I pray,
Yeah.
uh, when see people who have not experienced,
It's so hard
might
for the
say like, I do pabnayo,
Yeah, yeah.
no. But whenever I go and pray for someone in some place, when the Lord's favor is there, I can see an eye. I see always when I am close, when my eyes are closed, I see a lady eye
Okay.
always popping out,
Okay.
and I make confirmation that God's presence
Is there.
is there. So I took that lady as an angel.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
When you get these dreams, this just for someone who's, because I believe as you share all these, I believe there are people who, just as you did on your Facebook, the Facebook thing, there are people who listen to this and can relate.
Yeah.
Getting dreams and getting visions, and they really don't know what it is. People don't understand. Some people may have, to your point, debunked it, like it is a key pamnayas and all those things. Now that again, after you encounter with Christ, what's your usual when you get a dream? Your first response is take it to God and pray to God and
Yeah.
interpretation.
Yeah.
What does it look like for you? Yeah.
I mean, whenever I dream, I take it this way. When there's a hope,
Okay.
you are God will speak through somebody or through dreams.
Yeah.
So even if I dream like I'm gonna die or something, I have experienced that.
Yeah.
I don't get fear.
Yeah.
The moment I get up, I just pray and I rebuke it
Yeah.
in the name of Jesus. So prophecy, when to the viewers also, I just want to encourage you. When prophecy comes of death or anything negative, it is because there's a hope.
It's actually mercy.
Yeah.
It's showing you a
So
sign.
the Lord
right?
is saying, take up
Yeah.
that burden to me.
Wake up call. Yeah.
Yeah. So that is one thing.
Yeah.
And till now, whenever I pray about it, nothing happens actually.
What do you mean nothing happens? Like,
I mean, if there are certain occasions where I leave it, neglect, just
ignore it.
ignore it.
Yeah.
So something or the other, it happens.
Yeah.
But whenever I take it to
The bad thing doesn't happen.
Yeah,
Once you
yeah.
pray about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
so
Yeah. Why I asked about that lady often is I came across. Do you guys know Johnny Chang? Johnny Chang, this Asian guy, tattoo, talks about God a lot.
no.
Nah, Johnny Chang. He's an influencer.
Okay.
He's also a pastor.
Acha.
I think you might know when I tell his stories. Like he's like a childhood gangster, Asian guy. Father used to abuse him a lot, so he found like community with the gangs and all those things. He went to jail at a very young age, juvenile, but he found Christ and all those things. I was watching his live stream. I think this was the end of December. And the story I took to my parents, Uncle Tali also, I was just sharing this whole thing, and I don't know how this will come out in this context. But it's very, he was sharing about this dreams thing, and to be careful about certain dreams. Because oftentimes we also get demons in our dreams and the wrong spirits, right? So he was sharing this story of one of his friends who's also a gangster. He got out of prison and he felt led to just read the Bible and all that, right? That night, he had a dream.
Acha.
And in that dream, a lady had come and told him, same thing, go to church. Go to this church. Very direct kind of instructions. So he goes to this church, he goes to the pastor, he shares about it. They're encouraged, like, it's good. And then like he goes to Johnny, and Johnny Cheng by the time he's spiritually mature. He tells Johnny that like there's this lady who has appeared in my dream, asked me to go to church and telling me good things, read the word, like good things about Christ. Then he asked, who's this lady? He said, it's my grandmother.
Acha.
And the grandmother had passed away.
Okay.
So Johnny immediately had told him, that's not from God. Because Johnny may have felt that thing to say. So that guy was, again, straight out of prison, and also he was triggered. He was like, "How can you tell me my grandmother is not from God? Like, how can you tell me it's telling me good things, right?" And Johnny immediately told him like, "This is not from God. It's not from God." But then because Johnny had kind of denied his biases, he stopped going to Johnny anymore. He was now going to church and good things, right? Like go to church, read the word, and he was getting all these things. 6 months later, turns out he shot himself. But then he shot himself, but he didn't die. Somehow he was saved. He comes back to Johnny, tells Johnny, "How did you know?" Because apparently it was the same lady who eventually would tell him to do things that at first it was good. At first it was go to church, all of these things. But then started telling them he was dependent on that spirit more than the word or more than Christ. And there was now at this high place that he had put this spirit. And then eventually he was made to shoot himself. So yeah, just this idea of like he was sharing about how these dreams and visions are there, but it's also like from the enemy. Just on that note, like, do you also have like stuff like that where there is like you can clearly say it's a demonic experience? Have you had that?
Yeah, a few times.
Yeah.
I mean, dream were not right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, few occasions.
Okay.
Few occasions.
Yeah.
As far as I remember.
Yeah. All right. Oh wow, that's heavy topics. Yeah. How was your growth in Christ? Like again, was it rapid? Was it like that after that? Like you were just hungry for God, and you also mentioned you shared that you had mentors and all that.
Yeah.
How intentional were you with all these? That you just surround yourself with the right people and all that. Yeah.
So, first, I was a very skeptic guy.
Yeah.
Actually, I don't believe in those, tongues or. I'm not very emotional guy also.
Yeah.
I don't like too much of worship and too much of that. I mean,
Yeah.
I hope you understand. But
Yeah, I do.
so that is how it started. So I started going to Lighthouse Church. It was, Light Junction,
Yeah.
Sinai Ministry. And one night, the first night I went, they had a revival or something
Okay.
like that. So pastor told me, there's one guy the Lord is calling.
Yeah.
So if it's you, please come up to the stage.
Yeah.
And I'm not going. I knew it was me when he spoke. And the pastor was saying,
Keep saying.
And I spoke, and I told Lord, if it's me,
Yeah.
he come down and pray over me. That night, Andi Kole, she's no more. She and Pastor Wapang came to me and prayed over me and started prophesying. And it really broke me that day. And I knew I was called. And slowly I started to, hunger for more. And that's how it started, actually.
Wow. How and your wife was always like she was still like when you got married and all that, she was the one who was still anchored to God, Christ?
Yeah.
Because you said you met Christ after you got married.
Yeah.
Just on that note, can you share a little bit? You mentioned this earlier about your daughter's testimony. You said.
When I have a desire from my childhood. If I marry and if I have a child, I will have 5 children. But if I turn out to be like my parents, I will have 3. Eldest will be daughter and 2 will be son. That's what I desire from very childhood. And I always wanted 2 sons, not because I am specific about gender, but I have grown single. Only son.
Yeah.
So I have struggled in many areas because I could not share many things with my sisters.
Yeah, because you're a guy.
So I always have that desire. And when my wife got conceived, 3 people said it's a boy and all the three were prayer warriors. And I was not agreeing to it. I said it's a girl. And from that time, I started praying. Though I
You
have
were not really
accepted
into,
Christ, being from a Christian background, I started praying, and I started praying, Lord, I want a baby girl. And at the 11th hour also, one lady came and prayed, and she said, it's a boy. So my wife, she knows, she started to buy clothes. All boys.
Yeah.
Camouflage, all those. And I told my wife, it's a girl. So stop buying all those things.
Yeah.
But she was fully convinced with the prayer and thing.
Yeah.
And hospital, when the delivery happened, when the nurse came out with a baby girl, I screamed out of joy. So in my life, from all those small things that the Lord showed me, His favor.
Yeah.
If I have to really think back and imagine, I could.
He was there throughout.
Yeah, it makes me really emotional.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he was there the whole time, showing you
Yeah,
signs. And
that's what.
yeah.
So favored.
Even I believe when I speak also, I always share I'm a product of favor. Like Genesis 27, I always mention the Lord was with Joseph. The Lord was the Lord was with Munguli. Like he's always been there.
Yeah.
Like he's always opened doors. And with that said, so you got married at 29, and you were still doing your photography and all those things. How had your professional life changed once you met Christ?
Like I said, I started
Yeah.
in the year 2006.
Yeah.
I struggled a lot,
Okay.
and I worked with the Morong Express.
Okay.
After before I got married, and after I got married also, I was still working with Morong
As a
as a graphic designer.
okay.
And actually, Morong Express have been played a very important role in my career,
Okay.
because it was the first privilege that I got, and why I thank Morong is that they were not really bothered about my qualification,
Yeah. Yeah.
and they gave me the opportunity.
Yeah.
So Morong is still in my
Special place.
heart,
Yeah,
special place.
Yeah.
So when I encountered Christ in the year 2015,
Yeah.
that was the year of breakthrough.
Oh.
Because before that, I used to get 4 or 5 weddings only
Okay.
in a season.
Yeah.
But from 2015, the peak just went up.
Yeah.
And I was not saying that I was not creative that time also.
The favor.
Yeah.
It's exponential.
So one thing that I always speak and pray over me is that we all know Solomon.
Yeah.
He was the wisest man. But he still prayed for wisdom of God
Yes.
to be upon him. Actually, he was a very. What I imagine about Solomon was that he was very intelligent guy,
Yeah.
but he still prayed for the wisdom of God.
Yeah.
So for me also, I know I'm talented,
Yeah.
and talent is gift.
Yeah.
But I always pray to God every day, even now,
Yeah.
before I go, Lord, my talent is limited, but I want your creativity to be upon me.
Exactly.
And his creativity is unlimited.
Mm.
And that's how I'm surviving till now
Yeah.
in this field.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think this is something that we can hardly explain in ways also.
Yes,
The way his
that's what.
creativity downloads.
No,
Like-
sometimes, many a times, I'm sure people must be thinking like, why always God everywhere?
But
Is there any other things to be shared? But I don't want to,
yeah.
because I know it's from God.
Yeah.
And if I do anything, and if I say anything that is my own,
It's not there.
yeah,
Yeah.
I'm not giving the right,
You're
testimony.
honoring it also.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So everything, it comes back to God.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. What were a few things that this is just for young creators, maybe? What do you attribute your? Of course, there's God and favor, as you said, but just from a practical perspective, or just your attributes yourself. What are a few things you attribute yourself to in terms of where you are right now? Because right now you are, if not the biggest, one of the biggest, and like I said, a pioneer, but one of the biggest names in this industry, right? Like what if you had to put it into like a few things? What got you this far?
I would not say I have satisfied everyone.
Okay.
There was a lot of flaws in me also. But that have not stopped me from what I am and what I should have, what I should be.
Okay.
But the main key as a wedding photographer, since I'm a wedding photographer, I cannot speak on behalf of others.
Yeah.
So a wedding photographer, you should be good in dealing with clients. Be on time. And give your best in all the wedding. See,
So
the
good.
highest wedding I did was last season. I covered around 70 plus wedding.
In a span of
6 months.
that's
Yeah. So that was the highest I did.
yeah.
But I made sure I delivered on time.
Yeah.
So I give time of 3 months. It's not that one wedding we take 3 months,
But
but
you just have so much going on.
yeah,
Yeah.
so much going on, I don't get time to edit. So by 3 months, I deliver it.
Yeah.
There's not even a single day or single project that I have kept it for 6 months or 1 year, or I have not delivered it. So far, whatever I have finished, I have delivered it
On time.
on time.
Yeah.
Second thing is, see, for us, every day we are doing the same.
Yeah.
But for the client, it's their only day.
Yeah.
So give your best,
Yeah.
and every wedding should be unique.
Exactly.
So I do a lot of homework.
Yeah.
So I try to create, study. I try to get inspired.
Yeah.
Because when we are shooting a whole week,
Yeah.
we get burnout.
Yeah. 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So sometimes creativity also might be affected.
Yeah.
So-
And you must be so tempted to stick to your standard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So not to let that overtake us, we have to do homework
Yeah.
by getting inspired
Yeah.
from others.
Yeah.
So that is one thing that,
What does that look like for you? Where are you getting inspiration from?
like I see, for me, small or big, all the photographers I follow,
Good.
from Nagaland, especially,
Good.
because I want to see how they are doing,
Yeah.
where we are at.
Yeah.
It's not because, see, at the end of the day, it's a competition also.
Yeah. Yeah.
So in a good way,
Yeah. 100%.
not being,
It's just analysis.
yeah.
You're
So I
studying
want
the
to
playing
see how
field.
they are doing also.
Exactly.
If they are doing good, I have to do better.
Yeah. Yeah.
And many used to ask me, tell me, you are one of the best photographer, you know. But I always tell them I'm not the best photographer. But I can tell you something. I'm one of the most unique photographer.
So good.
Yeah. So I consider myself a unique photographer.
Because
And
best
then-
is subjective,
Yeah.
right?
So that's one thing. And then the next is, say you are a client.
Yeah.
So you ask me, when can I get my file?
Yeah.
So I will always respond to them, you will get it soon. But I will not tell you the date and time.
Uh-huh.
Because in case, if I cannot make it,
Yeah. You're not the one, like you haven't failed. per
yeah,
se.
so I will be
Yeah.
I'll get the blame.
You manage expectations.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I make sure it's soon,
Yeah.
as I've said.
Yeah. That's so good because even for me, I call it honoring, like honoring what is in front of us.
Yeah.
And I believe one thing for me is what has led me to every bigger step in my journey as a designer or as a creative director has also been always that honoring what's in front of me, honoring and giving 110% with what's here, because I also believe you're only as good as the worst work you have done. And again, you're only as good as the worst piece of work in your portfolio. If someone's checking your portfolio, try to put your best work in there, because the worst one is how they will kind of benchmark you with, right? In that same way, I also believe in that idea of your work is only as good as you present it, right? And you do that pretty well. You are also using social media in a very resourceful way, in a useful way. Was it just something that came naturally? You saw people doing it abroad. You saw people doing it outside to use Instagram, to use social media to get clients and all these things. When did you realize that, okay, this is where I can actually get clients? Because it wasn't always like that for Instagram, right? Or Facebook or whatever that is.
Yeah, at first we were all using Facebook,
Yeah.
but slowly I started to know that Instagram is more potential
Yeah.
when it comes to professionalism. So, and it's most Instagram is, at first it was all about pictures only.
Yeah.
So slowly I tried to adapt Instagram.
Yeah.
It was not easy
Yeah.
shifting from Facebook to Instagram.
Yeah.
But somehow, yeah, I managed it, and now I don't use Facebook. It's been 5-6 years.
Yeah.
So I'm fully into Instagram.
Yeah. So yeah, just on that note again, for me, when you said you do homework, do you do? For me, one of the things I do as a designer, or when I do projects, I have this thing. I think we shared this before. I do this thing called discovery sessions, where I sit with like 3 from. And if you see how I break up my contracts and my scope of work, 30% of what I charge is actually just 3 meetings. So if I'm doing a project of 7 lakhs, 1.3 lakh is just 3 meetings. But I attribute so much into that, going like, this is the most important thing. Because a logo anyone can give you.
Yeah.
But a logo that is contextual to you is something that I can give based on the interactions that we have. It's like I get to know them. I get to know where they come from, who their audience is, all of these things, right? How much do you spend kind of do you do this, and how important it is to even know your clients a little bit beforehand? Do you do those things beforehand?
I mean, before, your profession, the way
It's
you
different,
do, and
yeah.
ours is also a little different.
For sure, 100%.
Yeah. So for us, before I was very demanded, I would say.
Yeah.
So hardly in a month, 1-2 wedding
Yeah.
or 3.
Yeah.
So at that time, I used to make appointment and
Meet them and all that.
meet them. But nowadays, it's very difficult to do that.
Because you're so busy.
Yeah, because in a week, sometimes we cover 5 weddings also.
Yeah, so you have no time.
Yeah. So what I do is that after this long year of experience, I have come to a point where I can also understand a client while I, interact
Already
with them.
doing it. Yeah.
And when I go and start covering bride's place from the bride's place.
Yeah.
So I make sure like when I take picture, it's not just what I want.
That's what. Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, it's
their day.
Yeah, we have to satisfy the client, not satisfy ourselves.
Yeah, 100%. Exactly.
So I make sure I take lots of cliche shots and creative also.
Yeah.
But the Instagram upload that I do, it's what I love.
Yeah, because it's yours.
Yeah. So it's not that all those cliche and that normal shots are not there.
It's checking off their checklist.
Yeah.
What they want, what they've seen,
Yes,
what they
yes.
think it should be there, right?
And when it comes to wedding, coverage is more important than good portraits, actually.
It's the moment.
Yeah.
It's the people.
Because mostly people judge us by social media.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, people will share or pass on our work
Yeah.
when our coverage is good.
Yeah.
Coverage means from the bride's place till the end,
Yeah. The whole day.
whole day.
Yeah.
So sometimes if you get married, marriage is something. That
When I
is-
get married.
Yeah.
If no, when.
Yeah. when you get married, it will be not just you involving.
Yeah.
It will be your family.
Yeah. 100%.
So sometimes you might not know what dishes are being made
Yeah.
because it was taken care by your parents.
Yeah.
So we make sure all the dishes are also clicked.
Cover. Wow.
So when we give that to the client
They
client
see
will
everything.
know,
Itu with Ishe.
Itu with Ishe.
Yeah.
Because sometimes the client would not
have no
able
idea.
to eat
Even
that
taste it because they're so
it's
busy.
finished.
Yeah.
So those are the things
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
Can I open my jacket?
Oh, please.
I'm getting
please.
hot. Yeah?
You want to take a 2-minute break? Washroom meet, you know? Break next 2 minutes. Both can also think. Yeah. It's going so good, Odi. How are you finding it?
Great, yeah.
Awesome. How much time have we covered, guys? 1 hour? Perfect. We can go on for awesome. It's so good, yeah, Odi. And really, really good. What goes on behind this package that you give to clients, you offer to clients? What's everything that's in there?
I have few packages,
Okay.
but depends on the client and the difference it comes on the photographers.
Okay.
If the wedding is big,
Mhm.
we need more photographers.
Mm.
So it depends on that and the album quality
Mm-hmm.
and some accessories.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what does it? So you said earlier that from the bride's place to like the end, what goes on? Like what do you cover when a wedding coverage is there? In a standard wedding,
Yeah, yeah.
what are you covering when you said? You mentioned the dishes and all this, but just from front to end.
Yeah. So first come the bride place
Yeah.
where I go, and my second shooter he goes to the groom's place.
Yeah.
So at bride place we try to cover the detailings, that is shoe, ring, card,
Okay.
wedding dress,
Yeah.
and her makeup
Yeah.
and some family portraits.
Yeah.
And after that we come to church, and church we try to maintain little simple.
Okay.
And for me, I'm very strict when it comes to church because I tell my crew like to be very quiet.
Of course. Yeah.
And when it comes to Word of God, we don't click pictures. We just sit.
Mm.
And only when there's solemnization, we start and take pictures.
Mm-hmm.
And I always tell my people, my crew, to not disturb the video team.
Of course. Yeah.
Because one thing that a photographer is like we can move, our mobility is
more than the video.
Than the
yeah,
video.
Yeah.
So we try to stay behind,
Yeah.
and we go to reception, we cover the reception,
Yeah.
people eating food,
Yeah.
and then later group picture,
Yeah. Yeah.
and after that portrait.
Okay. So that's kind of the whole thing.
Yeah.
Nice. And there are people who also do like the after party and all that. Do you do this?
No, actually I don't cover after
Yeah,
party.
yeah. Any
That's the
particular
reason
reason?
why most of the people who hire me,
Yeah.
they are aware of it.
Yeah.
So if they're hosting a party,
Yeah.
they will not ask. Yeah.
So it's just your choice because you don't. What's the reason behind it?
See, for me, I believe, I mean, it's okay. It's everyone's own understanding.
Yeah.
But marriage is something that is very secret.
Yeah.
So everyone, like whether you are a born again believer or not, everyone, when it comes to wedding, we prayerfully wait. But right after the wedding, what's the use of throwing our party with booze and
Yeah.
all those things?
Yeah.
So for me, I really don't support that.
Yeah.
But I'm not saying people should not do it.
Yeah.
We can do it in
It's
the
your
right
own
way also.
opinion. Yeah, it's your own thought.
Actually-
Yeah.
It's not that partying is wrong,
Yeah.
but in a right way.
Exactly. That's so good.
If you can do party in a right way,
Yeah.
that's good.
Yeah. Would I want to worship the whole night? Yeah.
Yeah,
like just
But-
till the sunrise.
yeah. We Nagas have, we don't know the limit. So that's the main thing, and I don't want to go and click picture people having,
Yeah.
drinking and partying.
It's the fruit of it is just not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that is just my personal choice.
Yeah. So good. How difficult or easy it is to work with other parties in the sense that because there's some weddings where you might not be the only one. Again, of course, you have the video counterpart, but are there I believe there are bigger weddings when sometimes they hire more people, or is it usually just one often? Or in fact, even with the videographers, like, is it since you already know them a little bit, like, do you just have this rapport between each other, or do you do a little bit of briefing, like you do this, and all those things beforehand?
Actually, we have faced in certain occasion that way. where we have to work with other team.
Yeah.
But see, we are paid, so we want to give our best,
Yeah.
both of the team.
Of course.
And sometimes in that time, we might create misunderstanding.
Yeah, exactly.
So it is always good to communicate
Yeah.
and sort it out. The work.
How does that look like?
For say Rio's daughter's wedding, we had two teams, Jay and I, and we were covering. So we know each other very well.
Yeah.
So I told my friend John,
Yeah.
I'll do the portrait,
Yeah.
family portrait. You
Yeah.
take the couple portrait.
Yeah.
So where we can save time.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I will share my file to you
Yeah.
if you want to put it in the album.
Yeah.
So we agreed and we covered how we planned.
Yeah.
So I took the family portrait and he took the couple portrait.
Yeah. So it's like a collaboration.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's the biggest challenge sometimes in shooting weddings for you so far? Like, what's something that you think should be better, or like just as a photographer also, maybe?
Most challenging is when we are not well. Yeah.
It's so tasking to your body. Like
Yes,
it's a whole
yes,
day, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So sometimes we get sick, but we have to give our best.
Have you ever thought of taking more of a director role? And of course, I know it's so hard because it's your name, it's your thing in there, and you have your style. But have you ever thought of? And I've talked about this to San I met Odi a few days ago, and he's also going to come on at some point. But I do want to have creatives on, but at some point you also have to hang up your boots, I guess, right? Or at some point you also, or even just as a conversation, have you even thought of slowing it down and increasing the prices of stuff where you are part of, and having like a little package where you may not necessarily be available, but it's your team still. It's your advice and all those things.
I've really not thought about it
Yeah.
because so far I'm enjoying what I'm doing.
Well,
So when we are enjoying, we don't have that second option.
Yeah.
actually. But of course, I'm trying to be wise.
Yeah.
I would say this is my prime time.
Wow.
So if
How old are you, Odi?
it's I'll be 42.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, but in my career,
Yeah.
I'm at my prime time.
Yeah. So good.
So it is always wise to invest before it's too late.
Yeah.
Because photography is something related. It takes a lot of involvement in our physically,
100%.
mentally also.
Yeah.
So we cannot say what helps tomorrow. But of course, we move by faith. So it is always wise to invest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What happens when? Did you ever have times when you said when you're not well, right? When it was, did you ever have a situation where your health was really bad and
Yeah.
you couldn't show up? Like, have you had? And how do you deal with that? How do you communicate?
Even though I'm not well, I've always been there.
Wow.
But when my father-in-law passed away, that was the year I have to cancel many weddings
Yeah.
because I had no choice.
How does that look like? How does that communication look like? And
The clients, it depends on the client. But so far, the client have been very supportive and understanding. And like I said, many clients who comes to me, God brings in
Right
a such
people.
way that they are also a lover of God.
wow.
So, to deal with such people, it's more easier.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah,
Yeah, there's a foundation laid already.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's what.
Do you read quite a bit? Do you read?
I don't read much.
You gave me that book, so I thought you read
Yeah.
quite a bit. Good. Yeah. What do you do? What's your way of absorbing information? Do you watch stuff? What's your way of getting information?
Actually, I'm not someone who is everywhere.
Okay.
So when it comes to news, politics, I'm very nil.
Okay.
I don't have much update.
Yeah.
I'm so happy that at least I know CM, who is CM. Other than that, most of the politician also I'm not,
Aware.
and I don't poke in politics also.
Okay.
But for say, if I want some information,
Yeah.
I go to YouTube,
Yeah. Yeah.
and that particular information I get it, and that's it.
Yeah. Yeah. And by information, I also mean not just necessarily current affairs, but say learning new things
Yeah.
and all these things. So it's usually videos.
Yeah, videos.
Yeah,
Videos.
yeah, yeah. Growing up also is just like whenever you had access to. I'm not growing up per se, but like I think the early years of you being a photographer. Of course, you're not taught everything in college. You're not taught everything in school, right? What was your primary mode of learning things as a professional in the early days of you? Because we don't know everything when we start off.
Yeah,
right?
when like that's what we jump into this field when the time was very struggling.
Yeah,
So we met so much of error. That's why we know pros and cons.
yeah, yeah. So you learned a lot from your mistakes and
Yeah,
experiences.
from my mistake.
Yeah,
And I would say this was all self-taught.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So for nowadays, it is very easy to pick up any profession because you
You
get
just learn
guidance.
Everything. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So I would say self.
Yeah, but I also believe muscle memory is so important. The reps, the
Yeah.
in and out, in and out.
Yeah.
One can learn the knowledge of it, but wisdom comes from experience,
Yeah.
right? And
That's
it comes from that 10,000 hours rule, like just your work, just putting in the work, doing over and over again. You're definitely someone I believe has put in that 10,000 hours. When you said you mentioned about things being tasking to your body and all those things. Let's talk a little bit about your health. You said you were quite healthy. When was it that it was that COVID time itself that you realized that, or was there ups and downs before as well in terms of your fitness journey?
I was getting a little problem breathing while sleeping.
Okay.
So not very much, but sometimes. So I would choke also. And slowly after that dream, it just went on. Even now, I'm a little healthier now, but it's not that I am off. I maintain.
At your worst, how was your physique and health like?
Like
In a sense, the peak. So you said you were quite healthy and like you're big and all those things. So what was your weight like at the peak?
95.
95.
Yeah.
Okay. And that was just before COVID.
Yeah, before COVID.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. And that's when you started facing these
Yes.
health issues. How was your journey? That 6 months you said you lost 20 something kgs. Like what was it like? Practically, what were you doing?
I used to cycle like 40 to 50 kilometers in the morning.
Wow.
And my diet was salad and chicken.
Okay.
And in the evening, I would run 5 to 10 kilometers and work out for 1 hour.
Every day.
Every day
Oh man.
for 5 months. Yeah.
2 questions. Where were you learning this from? Like in terms of information, like what to eat, what like all the, of course someone had to, or you must be learning from somewhere. Where was that?
I followed keto diet.
Okay. And your structures, like in terms of your cycling and
Yeah.
all these things. Was there anyone guiding you, or was it just
No, just myself.
Yeah. Okay. Did you face any? You said you were doing it yourself. So did you face any injuries as you were doing this, or was it just like smooth?
I didn't had any injury because I was doing lightweight
Okay.
most of the time.
That doesn't feel lightweight. Like there for 50 kilometers in the morning and 50 kilometers at night is not
It
necessarily.
was not. I was not after time.
Okay.
It was on slow pace.
It was more of endurance.
Yeah,
than yeah.
So yeah.
Okay, got it. Okay, with that said, was there times like you're someone who's pretty motivated, I guess. Then once you make a choice, you'll go for it. It seems like
I'll go
it seems
for
like, and I think that also helped out with the recovering or getting over the addiction and all those things.
Yes,
Your reason
actually, once I made up my mind, I have to do it. That's how
You
I
seem like that type of person.
How
Yeah.
I am.
Where does that come from? Father, or
Both, I would say both.
both being you yourself, just like
My mom and
that?
dad.
Both. They
Yeah,
were like that
yeah,
growing up. Okay. Goody, as we are coming to the end of the podcast, since you're someone who has been doing this for so long, what advice would you give to younger creators, younger people who are wanting to be photographers? Someone who is maybe 24, 25, who wants to get into this, wants to be speaking? Yeah.
Many young people come to me
Yeah.
seeking for advice. But I always ask one thing, are you guys talented?
Okay.
Because it's very important to know that also. See, young people, young fellows, they look up to us and they wanted to be
Like you.
like us,
Yeah,
you know. But this is a field that it's not something like you can learn. Actually, it comes from within. So if you are a creative person, I always encourage because
Yeah.
it's a very very huge investment actually
Okay.
when it comes to photography. So you cannot just invest and give up later.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that is one advice that I always give. Yeah.
And someone who has it, and knows that answer is yes, talented. Few practical things they can do to get to like a really good level. What are one or two things that they should just like keep close to themselves?
Yeah, first of all, be humble.
Yeah.
And no matter how much you learn or know, still be in a place where you are able to learn. Even me, I cannot say I have achieved it.
Yeah.
Every day is a learning process, and from even youngster, I take inspiration.
Yeah.
So if you are in a place where you know everything, that's when you stop growing.
Yeah.
So keep learning
Yeah.
and push yourself.
So good. So good. Odi, thank you so much for saying yes to this. You're really someone that I believe so many of the younger generation look up to, even in the way you excel in what you do. Thank you for paving the way, and we talk about this often in a lot in the previous podcast as well. Certain generation before us, y'all did not have an inspiration or people to look up to, but now people like you and your generation, there are a few of you who have really led the way for a lot of people to dream and aspire to be where you are as well. So thank you so much for that. Any final thoughts? Any final thing you want to share before we end?
Thank you so much for having me here.
Yeah.
And it was always a privilege to sit and share what I know.
Yeah.
But of most of it, it's always a privilege to serve the living God.
Yeah.
And one best decision in my life that I have taken is accepting Christ.
Yeah.
And first seek the kingdom of God, and everything shall be added unto you. Yeah, that is one thing, and with that I would encourage.
You know why I'm laughing? Matthew chapter 6:33 is every podcast we talked about it.
Yeah.
We talk about it in every episode. And like the fact that you brought it up, it's crazy. Seek
It's
first the
God.
kingdom of God. Yeah,
It's God.
it's alignment. That's why we love every episode. We always talk about Matthew 6:33, and just the fact that it ends with this, it's crazy. This is this alignment. All right, thank you so much, Odi. Thank you guys so much. This is Munguli on the podcast. God bless. Thank you, Odi.
A 1,